April 14th today, and I have a very exciting update to share. This is the first real bud action on any of my trees, the yard trees anyways. There's a whole bunch of buds bursting open on this quince tree. This is a fruiting quince tree, supposedly. Nothing's developed on it, or nothing did last year anyways. So there's a little bag here, thing tied off, because I'm going to air layer this for the landlord, and then I'll air layer a few other ones here and there, and then also do some pruning and try to get some cuttings to root of the smaller branches. Any of the big thicker ones that I want to get rid of I'm gonna try and air layer. Anyways, I'm gonna do this pretty much all off camera, kind of on and off throughout the next 2 days probably, so I don't want to film it. My filming priority is all my repotting that I've been doing. I think I might try and air layer this one around here somewhere, and if this grew out as a new bud, that'd be cool. It's really long and straight, not really necessary for the overall tree. It's lower down, so it won't grow very strong, but it would make a pretty good air layer. And then if something grew out of here, it could provide some cool movement later on. Maybe I'll do the same over here. At the very least, I'm going to cut off this and you take that as a cutting. Maybe I'll just let that grow out this way a little more. This one kind of gets in the way a little bit more than this one does for now anyways. So yeah, that's the update. I'm just gonna keep this in the update video for April. I'm not going to do its own video. Maybe later in the season if it starts fruiting. This one definitely flowers. It did last year anyways. So anyways, that's it for now. I'll give another quick update once I finish this. Doing my first air layer on this quince tree. That's what I got it to look like. Below a bud here, below the cambium, gave that a scrape. And then this branch overall I'm going to keep there and then let this grow up. April 15th, and it is crazy windy today, so there won't be any updates or outdoor repotting videos today. I'll do a couple repots inside, or as many as I can I guess, and call it good for the day. My trees keep getting knocked over. I should put them down on the ground. It's starting to rain a little bit too. The winds are gusting to about 60 kilometers an hour, so this is nothing. This is just the normal like 30 or something. It gets crazy once those gusts come in. Maybe I can catch one of them on camera. Okay, well, it's April 18th, and wouldn't you know it, but it's snowing again. Gotta love Southern Ontario. Hamilton especially seems especially temperamental this time of year, and every time of year. Anyways, I just repotted my cedar number 3 this morning, and it was nice, not sunny out, but not cold, not like this. Yeah, so I'm just going to tuck my trees away for the night. I'll put all these ones, the repotted and budding out ones, back in their shelf, and then I'll put the lid up, and they'll spend the night that way again, same as last night, because it's going to be going down freezing temperatures again a couple more times this week apparently, and then that should be it for the year. I say that every time, but hopefully this time is the time. Okay, I'll just get these packed up to bed and I'll be back another day. I know I said I'd be back in a few days, but I just had to show what's going on here. It's a couple hours later now, almost dinner time, and the big fluffy snowflakes are still coming. The ground was pretty warm and so was the air, but because these snowflakes are so big and fluffy, they're almost insulating themselves and, you know, not too affected by the warmth of the ground. I mean, of course, it's all melted on the pavement and the street and everything, but all the other surfaces are a tiny bit colder. Everything's looking fairly sad and droopy right now, but I'm sure everything will be okay. Fingers crossed. Alright, so it's April 20th now. Happy 420. I finished this up the other day when I was working on it, but I didn't end up filming it. Got a bunch of weird weather afterwards. Anyways, this was the first air layer I took with this pot here. I don't know. I think they let in and out too much water. You know, I'd rather have an airtight seal. So I also air layered up there with, you know, Peter Chan's plastic bag technique. And this one down here, I think, I don't know, my first time doing this, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, 3 air layers, and I took quite a few cuttings from a bunch of different places just to get all the growth, you know, growing in the right directions and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Hope that grows up. That's enough of the quince tree. I gotta take care of the bottom this year, probably add some compost or something. I don't know. Last year the leaves look really wilted on this. Maybe not enough water gets in there. It's kind of weird. I don't know exactly how much space the roots have to grow in there, if it's just like a little box or what, but no idea how this was constructed. Okay, well that's it for the quince. Really looking forward to what happens here. I gotta move on now. Other things are happening in the yard and I need to catch up with them. I guess I can show on the Rose of Sharon, you know, we still got like the little extensions of, you know, the new growth. That's what everything looks like now. Some things are extending, some are just kind of nubs. These aren't really doing anything. There has been a lot of movement on the rose actually. So there's the higher buds looking really fat. Some middle ones already leafing out, and then these ones over here, they got really slowed down by the freezing temperatures the last couple of days, but I think they're doing really, really well. Everything else is growing real nice. I still have to do my backyard Yamadori. There's the Ohio Buckeye that I'm gonna collect. It's already leafing out, so it's probably a little late to collect that one, but I need to do it anyways. A couple little Norways with some interesting movement. So this is the persimmon tree, and you can see the buds are fattening up. Some of them are really starting to push out actually, so that's really cool. I'll get the air layering and pruning finished on that one soon, probably this week, but first I need to do, I think I'm gonna do the pear first, and then I'll take care of these apricot trees. The buds are really huge on them. These flowers are gonna open up any day now that we have some actual good temperatures again. Big buds on this Wogelia down there. The buds on the sumac are starting to plump up. And this, you know, this poor pear tree lost most of its fruiting spurs to the squirrels, or one specific squirrel, I think, in the neighborhood. These ants have been just taking care of whatever was left. I was hoping I could still get a couple flowers out of some of these. I think they're developing in this one a little bit, but the ants keep coming back. Keep trying to get them out of there, and then they keep coming back. And I just damaged the flower. That's great. Well, maybe I'll just leave them and see what happens there. Still got 2 good flowers coming out up there and 4 good ones along this branch. So what I want to do here is prune it back to there probably, and focus pretty much all the energy of the tree onto these 6 buds, spurs that are still alive. The rest I'm just going to air layer the big ones up top, and then prune everything back, plant cuttings, hope for the best, and really take care of these fruiting spurs next year. It looks like, some of them had been chewed off last year, and then that, dried up, they died off. Like this one. That one definitely got eaten last year, and then the whole spur just died back. So I really need to be, that one too, really need to be watching these damn squirrels around early April next year. Anyways, moving on. This apricot gets a little bit more sun in the morning, so its flowers are actually starting to peek through already. And on the edge, on the tips of these branches, we got some green buds coming out. So yeah, all that needs to get done real soon. And still a bunch of things to repot too. I'll do a separate update for the bonsai trees and how they've been pushing out so far this spring. One more thing, I do need to do this eastern redbud also. Set up air layers and do some major structural pruning. Also the red buds are starting to open up here. These are going to be nice pink flowers all over the tree very soon. So I can't wait to film that update. But maybe I'll wait till the flowering's done to do a lot of the pruning, or maybe that'll be too late. I should probably do the pruning first, really. Anyways, grapevine's all done. The buds are, still developing. Some of them are starting to bulge up pretty nicely, but they get, probably at least 5 times this size before they actually start opening up. Anyways, that's it for the updates. Yep, I'm gonna go do that pear tree, and then I'll film another little update afterwards. Here's our backyard robin. Always comes and hangs out with me here. Alright, time to tackle that pear tree. I've been making plans on it since last year. Time to go through with them. Alright, so it's April 22nd today. And I was looking at the lower buds of this apricot tree and noticing that some of them are starting to open up, the flowers. And then I looked upwards and noticed that we already have our first flowers of the year opening up. There's the first one. Apricot flower number 1, April 22, 2022. That's a pretty cool date. Very nice. It's a beautiful day. It's going up to, I think, plus 14. Not a cloud in the sky right now. I just love these apricot trees. when all these flowers open up, it's just one of the most beautiful things in the neighborhood, I think. So yeah, I'll set up a bunch of air layers now and then let everything flower. And then later on, I'll take all the fruit off of the air layered, or in progress air layering branches. It's hard to say. And then, yeah, so I want to let the fruit develop. All the strength of the branch will go into root development, getting air layered, and that'll be that. The one piece of bad news from the other day, actually, and I've been too salty to talk about it. I lost another 2 pair fruiting spurs. The flowers are gone. Something ate them. I'm kicking myself because I had these protected, but then once they started opening up, I took the protective cover off, but then it got cold and, you know, the flowers stopped opening up. So I should have put that cover back on. The other one that was up here that kept getting eaten by ants, that's totally gone now too. It's definitely squirrels that keep getting up here. I do have another 2 here still. So yeah, this poor tree had dozens of fruiting spurs and now it only has 4 that are alive. So very unfortunate, but the one on the side of the house has a lot more. And this one will be really good for taking air layers this year. And I'll just prune it back, get it growing outwards, you know, that kind of, probably do like a modified central leader on this tree, something like that in the middle here. And then that one can be the more open vase shape. And this one may be kind of a strange modified, you know, central leader as well. Like this main one can be the leader. I don't know, we'll see. That's it for today's update. I just wanted to make a note on those apricot flowers coming out. Everything else pretty much looks the same as yesterday when I did the last updates. Anyways, I set up 2 air layers, one there and there. From the top of the branches that I'm gonna air layer, I just cut off a little bit, just enough to plant as a cutting. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm gonna air layer. And then everything else I just kind of prune to shape, you know, trying to get some lateral growth of these branches. Hopefully something can fill in this way. You know, I'd like to have a layer of branches coming out here and then having like this modified central leader. And then, so yeah, this is gonna come back to here and then that branch will grow that way. And then this central leader, pretty much everything's gonna come off except for this one, and then that'll be the leader, but it'll be, you know, fairly weak compared to the rest of the tree, but that's good. I want to focus most of the growth down around this area this year. So maybe tomorrow or sometime I'll do the other 3 air layers on that, and then I'll move on to the other trees. I showed this one earlier. The flowers are coming out already, looking real nice. I love this tree. How beautiful is that? I'm gonna air layer a whole bunch of branches off this one too. It's just grown like crazy last year. All right, I forgot to show also, on top of the air layers that I'm setting, I also took a whole bunch of cuttings. So they're just sitting in water for now. I'm gonna put them down in that stone basin until I can get some more of those propagation containers that I put the other cuttings in. Just get them from Dollarama, they're super cheap. This is the knife I use to do the air layering. I don't have a proper grafting knife, but this gets the job done. It's nice and sharp. The bark on this pear tree especially just peels off like butter. It's awesome. Much easier than the other trees I was air layering so far. Well, it took a while, but I finally got all the air layering done on this pear tree, Douglas pear. I think it took an extra couple days. It's April 22nd today. So I did 4 air layers with the plastic bag method, like I learned on Peter Chan's videos. And then one other one with these plastic pots. They're called rooter pots. I don't know, my landlord brought those over, so I figured I'd use at least one of those on each tree. So yeah, that's it for this pear tree. I might do some more air layering on the side one if I get, or the one on the side of the house if I get time. But for now, I'm gonna move on to the apricot trees. Maybe, actually I'll do this one first because it's already flowering. Flowers are coming out, looks awesome. And I've got a lot more to do on these ones. We already did 2 of those, so I'm just gonna do the plastic bag ones on these. And we'll see what happens. I love that these flowers are coming out already. The first pollinators of the season have arrived. What is it, April 25th today? Big bumblebees floating around the yard. That's a really nice sight to see. All these flowers opening up. Looking real nice. This other tree is just exploding. It's crazy. I really got to sort out all my air layers before it's impossible to see the branches. There's little wasps all over this bush. Spindle, they like it for some reason. Very nice. I'm just mixing up my soil for the day's repotting activities, and I noticed the pollinator action, so decided to document it. Whole bunch of bee and wasp activity. It's the first day I've seen any of these guys back here, and there's tons of them. This is really, really good to see. Happy spring, everyone. It's official now. The first nice, warm, comfortable rain of the year. April 25th. I'm just standing under the umbrella out here, taking it all in. Really loving this time of year. April 27th today. A little chilly this morning. It got pretty cold overnight, went down to -1. Feels like -7 or something like that. Let's walk around and check out the damage. Hopefully everything's okay. The quince tree looks to be doing all right. The flowers on the apricot tree still look okay. I'm mostly just a little concerned about my bonsai trees that were flushing out already. But yeah, I didn't bring everything inside last night. I didn't think it would quite be that cold. I thought everything would do okay out here. And it looks like they have. And this little birch is flushing out nicely. Everything's doing well. My little balsam fir here has some green poking out its apical bud. The pines, the needles are extending. Everything's looking very cool out here. Yeah, I don't think there's any worries really. The winter creepers even opening up. Some of the maples. Yeah, everything's looking okay, I think. Not quite sure about this Japanese maple. I think I might have killed it by pruning at the wrong time of year, but we'll see if it starts growing up again. I think there's a couple buds down here that are enlarging. These flowers seem to have fared okay. Only a few of them ended up on the ground. That's all right. Just love this tree. How beautiful is that? Pear. These, yeah, a couple more flower buds got lost over time, but we still got three on here. Sumac buds are getting bigger. The rose looks really good down here. Yep, everything did okay in the cold last night, so I think tonight won't be quite as cold. So if I ever get any temperatures colder than what I got last night, I'll wrap things up for the night, but now I know that they can take those temperatures, so nothing to really worry about. What? You do you, buddy. Right on.